welcome you all in our platform. I'm Anan Abdurrahman. I'm a Relo Cairo Mentors platform facilitator. We are so happy that you joined us today. Actually, today we're going to... Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I see that. Yes, that's good. Okay, the chat box. Okay. Okay. Actually, we are so happy that you joined us today. This is our official Facebook page. If you have any inquiry, you can contact us on via our Facebook page and our official email. Firstly, let me tell you some steps to facilitate our session. We are going to mute you all, not to distract the session. So if you have any question, just write it down in the chat box, or just take a note in your notebook. And we are going to have 10 minutes at the end of the session for questions and answers. And kindly switch off all the cameras, not to distract the connection of the internet, and it will be better, inshallah. And now we want to welcome Ms. Marwa Abdeljalil. She is our presenter for today. She is one of the Relo Mentors Cairo platform members and presenters. She is an English instructor and teacher trainer. She gave English courses for different students of different ages and background. She attended the TESOL convention, and she's an MA holder, and she's currently pursuing her PhD at the Faculty of Education at Shams University. She's going to talk today about Start It Over with voiceover. Let's welcome Ms. Marwa together. Welcome, Marwa.
Hi, how are you? Thank you, Anem, for hosting me. It gives me great pleasure to be here with you. And thank you all for joining us in this meeting. We are really happy to be here with you. And I'm really happy to see a lot of familiar names here participating. It makes me feel like being comfortable, being surrounded by all my friends. So let's get started. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me?
Say yes if you are hearing well. Say yes in the chat box. Just write yes in the chat box if you're hearing well. Hello, everybody.
Hey there.
Okay, Marwa, you can go on.
Great. Okay. So first of all, let me start by telling you more. So first of all, let me start by telling you more about the objectives of this session.
Hi, Marwa.
Hi. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it clear? Good.
Go on.
Good.
Yes, it's clear now. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's continue. So first of all, let me start by telling you more about the objectives of this session. So by the end of this session, teachers or you will be able to use voiceover to enhance your students' oral fluency. So first of all, let me ask you a question. In your opinion, what should an ideal classroom look like? Or what do you expect from your students?
Feel free to write in the chat box, dears. Answer the question in the chat box.
What do you expect from your students? Yeah, interact effectively.
You can repeat the question again, Marwa.
Great. There are a lot of interesting answers right here. Good. So we all agree that we want all our students to be active and motivated all the time. We want them to be really interested in the learning process, right? Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, great. So here, today we're going to talk about voiceover as one of the techniques that we can use to motivate our students. So what is voiceover? Can you guess? What is voiceover?
You can write your answers in the chat box if you have any idea about voiceover.
It's an app. Okay. What else? Teaching online, voice change. Okay. So now let me tell you more about voiceover. So as defined by Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary, voiceover is the words that describe or comment on a film, advertisement, or video, which are spoken by a person who is not seen. So if you watch a video or a movie and you can hear someone's voice in the background, but you cannot see this person, so this voice is called voiceover, and that person is providing voiceover for this video. For example, famous actors often provide voiceovers for advertisements and animated movies. And now I'll show you a video, and you are supposed to tell me whose voice you can hear. Okay? So now let's watch the video. Tell me whose voice you can hear.
الرعب الساعة 6 وعلى المقيمين خارج مدينة الرعب المحافظة على فروق التوقيت. درجة الحرارة في الظل 25 وده كويس للزواحف واحتمال يبقى جو هايل لكسل في السرير أو النوم أو أقول لك الأحسن عمل تمرينات للمخوفتية. اصحى يا شلبي.
Whose voice? Yes, good. Okay, it's Mohammed Hinidi.
Yes.
So can you see Mohammed Hinidi? Can you see him on the screen? No, exactly. And this is exactly what we mean by voiceover. You can hear someone's voice, but you cannot see him on the screen. So, how can teachers use voiceover in class? Let's see. So first of all, the teacher chooses a movie. It could be any movie. It could be a romance, a comedy, a horror movie, or even an animated one. Or you can let your students choose any movie. After that, you, as a teacher, divide the movie into segments or parts. Then the teacher divides the students according to the number of the characters in each segment. So for example, if the segment includes 3 characters, how many students do you need? How many? If the segment contains 3 characters, of course, you need 3 students. Exactly, that's right. So here, after that, the students go home, study the roles very well, and during the next session, the teacher mutes the sound of the movie segment, and the students who are supposed to provide the voiceover need to stand at the back of the class so that the whole class watches the movie while hearing their colleagues' voices. For example, I'll give you an example right now. So let us say that you choose Frozen as a movie. So first you need to divide this movie into different segments. And as you can hear, and as you can see here, this segment lasts for only 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes. So it's not that long, it's short. So it's easy for your students to memorize and to study the roles. And this is a link which you can use to find a lot of movie segments. You can find a lot of interesting movie segments right here, and they are already there. So now I'll show you how the segments are shown on this link. But before I show you the video, here is a question that I want you to answer. So you need to watch the film or the movie segment and tell me how many times will you hear the same sentence. So the same sentence will be repeated. You need to count the number of the repeated sentence. How many times will this sentence be repeated? So now let's see.
Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
How many times did you hear the same sentence? Mm-hmm.
5, 15, 3, 15, 17.
5, 3.
Too many.
Yes.
Yes.
3, many, 15. The
Too
same
much.
sentence, not the same word.
Yes.
Actually, the same sentence was repeated 6 times. Okay, and this is exactly why you should use these movie segments for your students. Use them at home. You need to count them once more. You can count it once more. So here, you can use these movie segments with your students to study the roles very well at home. And feel free to use the original movie inside the classroom, because you cannot use these movie segments inside the classroom because the same sentence will be repeated more than once. Okay, what else did you observe? What else did you observe?
Right. The number he's asking is the.
Repetitions.
Yes.
I just want you to tell me, is it important? Will this, how can this help your students? Okay. So first we observed that the sentence is repeated more than once. What else did you observe?
It improves listening skills, sentence be
Sure.
familiar, to pronounce well. Repetition is a key element in learning, just as a kind of drilling, fluency, and so on. Yes.
Great. Okay, and something this is really interesting. Thank you so much. Of course, repeating the same sentence will help the students get the word, because most of the time we can see that our students have some sort of difficulty listening. So this may help them get the words and get some new vocab. Something else is that you can see subtitles, English subtitles and Arabic translation, which will help the students understand what they need to study. Of course, exactly, the tone, of course, is important. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, this is voiceover in points. So in order to recap, so here, so first you choose a movie, and then you divide it into segments. The students study their roles very well, and then you mute the sound of the movie segment. The students provide voiceover in class. And now let's move very quickly to the reasons why we use voiceover. Why is it important? Can you guess? Listening and speaking, to translate in mother tongue. Is it important to translate in mother tongue? Yeah, it will be nice. It will be nice in order for the students to know the meaning of the words in Arabic. Enhance fluency, guessing. Thank you. Accent as well. Okay. So first, it increases the learner's self-confidence. Why? Because you do not put your students on spot and ask them to come in front of the class and start talking about a certain topic. No, they come to class while they are well prepared. They know exactly what they're going to say. And then it's a win-win situation, because if we are two students, so each one of us want to win. We need to study our roles and characters very well, because if one of us fails, the other person will be affected negatively. Of course, it helps develop the learner's
The
oral
voice is not
fluency.
clear, Marwa.
Yes, can you hear
Yes.
me right now? Can you hear me? Is it okay now?
It's okay, yes.
Yes.
Yes, right.
Yes, and it helps develop the learner's oral fluency, because they need to go as fast as the original
Go on.
characters in the movie. It improves the students' pronunciation, because they need to pay attention to the intonation, when to raise their voice, when to lower their voice. They also need to convey the message and emotions using their own voices. So sometimes they need to be happy. Intonation, when to raise their voice, when to lower their voice. They also need to convey the message or the emotions using their own voices. So sometimes they need to be happy, sometimes they need to be sad, and some other times they need to be angry. And of course, they need to pay attention to the right pronunciation for each word. The learners are energetic and active all the time. Come on, it's movies. So it's really connected to the students' interests. We are watching movies. It motivates the learners to participate and get involved in the learning process. For the same reason, actually, because they are really interested in watching movies, and they feel like really happy. Learning is fun. And finally, it is student-centered. Why? Because the students do everything. They choose the movie, they study the roles very well, and finally, they provide voiceover inside the classroom. And now I'll let you watch a real example from one of my classrooms. So here are my students providing voiceover for the movie Frozen. So this is the movie segment, and here are the students providing voiceover. Okay, and that's it. So now you're it. It's call for action. Now you need to choose a movie segment and ask your students to provide voiceover for it. You can choose, of course, you can choose any movie, and you can do it with your siblings, your family members, your friends, whoever, and please share it with us. Have fun and let us see your work. Now, do you have any questions? In which grade? Actually, you can use it with all students. I use it with my students at the English courses, and it really works very well. They are adults, but there are also teenagers. So these students were teenagers, the students that I have just shown you. Thanks. Thank you so much. Script, or shall they improvise? Actually, they need to study the script first because they provide voiceover inside the classroom. So you mute the sound of the movie and you let the other students watch the movie, and those students provide voiceover for the movie. So the class watches the movie while hearing their while hearing their colleagues' voices. You're welcome. Do you revise with them before starting performing? Yes, sometimes students need help before providing voiceover, so I try to help them just for them to feel comfortable. Of course, you can do it with young learners. They will enjoy it. Primary kids, of course, it will work very well and they will enjoy it. You can just choose animated movies for them and I think they will enjoy it. Challenges, concerning the challenges, sometimes students, sometimes some of them are really slow, so they cannot go as fast as the original characters in the movie, but I just try to calm them down and give them another chance in order to do it. But you will find this really beneficial, especially for shy students. They feel like being comfortable inside the classroom because they are not being on spot or forced to do something inside the classroom. No, they are well prepared and they can feel comfortable. And I'll tell you what, those students that I have just shown you asked me to start role playing the characters inside the classroom. Is there an app or a program where I can record the voice with the movie? Actually, I didn't choose an app. I just do it inside the classroom. But of course, you can ask your students to record their voices on their cell phones. Activity for advanced levels. Yeah, of course, it will work. What if there are some pronunciation mistakes? Do you correct them? Of course, I do not correct the pronunciation mistakes while they are providing voiceover. I just let them finish, and by the end, you can just highlight the most important ones. You can just take notes. How can I assess my students to make sure that they got the message? Actually, if you are, what do you mean by this? Do you mean before they come to class or after they come to class? Because if they come to class, you will absolutely know that they get the message because they will provide voiceover and you will know if they get the message or not. Before coming to class, I just try to follow up with them on our WhatsApp group. Yes, this is really nice. If you would like to teach them some new vocab, it will be nice. But in this case, you will need to go to each group and tell them the new vocab. This will be nice. If I have students I work online with, how can I apply this with them? Yes, you can just give them, if you work with your students online, you can just give them an assignment just right now, for example, and ask them to be prepared on the next session, on the next online session. So that on the next online session, you can just play the movie and just let them provide the voiceover. I think this way it will work. Which age? Yes, I've just said that you can use it with any students, teenagers, kids, or adults. The most important part is to choose the suitable movie for them. Yes, of course, you just need to help your students and give them feedback before. Yes, as I've just told you, I just meet my students before providing voiceover inside the classroom, and I try to help them if they find any challenges, and I try to provide a helping hand. Flipped classroom, yes, Rachel. Yes, thank you. This may take a long time. During what stage? Preparation or inside the classroom? During preparation, of course, this will take a long time at the very beginning, because this is a new technique that students use. So they will take some time in order to study the roles. Inside the classroom, this will last for only some minutes, because you already know how long the movie segment will last.
Yes, here we have another question, Marwa, about
Yes,
online
what is?
teaching. How can they apply? How can they apply it in online teaching? It's a good question.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So here, in online teaching, you can, for example, give them an assignment in this session, during this session, just like the one that we have just done, a call for action. You ask them to prepare a movie segment. You give them some movie segments, divide them into groups, and on the coming session, you can just play the original movie, and they provide voiceover.
So I think this may help students study their novel as well. Yes,
sure.
Can we provide students with success criteria tackling pronunciation, intonation, body movements to be able to know how they are assessed?
Students with a success criteria. In what do you mean? What do you mean by success criteria? Of course,
can you clarify more, Marwa?
Yes. But as far as I understand, inside the classroom, you can provide feedback for the students, so that they can know their mistakes or their pronunciation mistakes, or what they can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, how they are graded in such tasks. How they are graded. Actually, I do not give them grades for this technique. I just do this in order to develop their oral fluency. Yeah, just to feel free doing it inside the classroom. But of course, you can use a lot of rubrics, just like oral fluency rubrics, if you want. You can find a lot of these. So you can just determine the components that you want to detect, and then you can put them in a rubric. And after that, it's easy for you to get the results.
Yes.
Pronunciation, you can correct the pronunciation by the end.
Huwaida is saying, so you don't correct the pronunciation?
No, you correct the pronunciation by the end. You can just give them feedback by the end, but you do not interrupt them. Do not interrupt them while providing voiceover. Just let them talk.
Yes. This is the same way using songs in the karaoke style to improve speaking skills. Khaled Hamid,
yes. Thank you, Mr. Khaled. Yeah, hi, how are you? Good to see you here. So focusing on pronunciation by name. doesn't matter. Focusing on
Yes.
pronunciation by name.
Any
Yeah. Yes. You
questions,
do
dears?
not call on the students and just tell them, yeah, Marwa, you did this wrong. No, you don't do this. Keep it fun. Keep it fun and let them talk. For the sake of fluency. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, the traditional listening drills, for the traditional listening drills, sometimes the students listen to audios which are not related to their own lives in any way. And sometimes they are supposed to answer only some questions which are related to the listening part, but they are not related to their interests or their real life. So here it is fun, and they are engaged all the time, and they have something to do. They do not only they are not only required to listen and just leave the classroom. No, they are supposed to provide something, and to and here you have listening. They listen to the movie segment. After that, they provide voiceover. This is speaking or oral fluency. They also read the subtitles. So this is reading. So you integrate a lot of skills right here. Yes, self-confidence, focusing on fluency. When we correct the pronunciation, you can correct it by the end. Or if you want, you can provide feedback before providing voiceover, if they come to you asking for help. So in this case, you can just try to help them pronounce the words correctly, but do not ever interrupt them. With no script, and let them create the dialogue. Yes, this will be fun. Thank you, Marwa. Hi, how are you? Yes, of course. Of course, this will be fun. You can just show them the video and ask them to provide a script for the film or the movie. This would be great. But you can use this, yes, as you have just said, in a further step. So this can be done with advanced learners, for example. Yes.
Yes, here we have, what about making my students listen to sentence by sentence and make them copy?
In what way? Copy what? Yeah.
They are already, I think they are already repeating, Huwaida. So they are repeating and imitating at the same time.
Yes.
Yes.
So they take the movie segment home, they study the rules very well, and they provide voiceover inside the classroom.
Yes.
So you don't have to do this, to go sentence by sentence.
Yes, here we have Khalid Hanafi. He says, I'd like to add something. We can record the students during their performance, and after finishing, they can hear themselves again, and they can correct themselves. Self-correction. Amazing.
Yes, great. Yes.
Yes. Safines says it should be suitable to their age and culture, for sure.
Of course.
Yes.
That's why we emphasize the idea that we choose the right and the suitable movie for the students.
Yes, here we have Asma. Can they add it with cartoon characters? Yes, sure. As we mentioned, yes.
Yes, animated movies.
Yes. Ahmed Hassan says, but is this possible in our schools in Egypt? I think so, yes.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes. Yes, why not?
For sure, Mr. Yes.
Give it a try and tell us.
That's it. It can be done online, as we said, Kaman. We are waiting for your interaction on our page, as Marwa said, that we are waiting for your trial with your students. You can give them a segment and ask them to prepare it with their parents, with their siblings, and try it. And we're going to wait for your videos to share it on our pages. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes. Here we have Atif. I think some pronunciation should be corrected immediately. Otherwise, it will be negative reinforcement if I pass it. Yes, for the sake of fluency. This is.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But in this case, you are focusing on accuracy, not fluency. Okay.
Yes.
Of course, on some other stages during the lesson, you just try to correct the pronunciation mistakes immediately, because this is really important, because you're seeking accuracy. So you have to correct these mistakes immediately. But while doing the voiceover, you will interrupt them, and it will not be fun anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the other students will be interrupted as
agree.
well. Yeah.
Yes. Let them speak and express themselves, and by repetition, they are going to correct themselves by themselves, I think.
Exactly.
Yes.
I have
Mr. Hisham said,
64.
I recommend trying an app which called Madlibs.
Yeah,
It
I
works
like
in
this
the
app.
same way and allows students to record their voices on short movies, about 1 minute. They will hear their voices on the real characters and can give in an assessment at home and bring it in the next day. Yes, great one.
I like this app and I will try it, inshallah. Yes. Thank you so much. I have 64 students in the class. You can divide them into groups, and during each class, you can choose 1 or 2 groups to come inside the classroom and provide voiceover for some movie segments. Okay. You don't have to let them all provide voiceover during the session. This will be somehow impossible. In the secondary stages, same idea. You choose an appropriate movie for your students, or you can just ask them to choose a movie that they like. So you can just start suggesting like 3 movies and ask them to choose one, and you start working on it. Thank you, Ale. Thanks for joining us. Mad Libs, yeah. Yes. I like this one and I will try it, inshallah. This in primary stage. I think in primary stage you can use animated movies and this will work very well. Yes, you can download Mad Libs. Yeah, you can use it.
Yes, we have Safinaz as well. She says, I tried this technique before. I sent it on WhatsApp group. They watched it and let choose their character and rehearse first and then show it after that. Great one.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yes. Mr. Ahmed Abdel Salam, what about making voiceover by students themselves and let them know the voice? We can hide it, yes, and we do. Yeah, nice one. Yes, why not? We cannot let each one know the role of each others, and after recording, we can let them guess who is this. Nice idea.
Yes, nice. Good one.
Yes.
Yes, and this will be
Mr. Ala. Yes, exciting as well. Really interesting and fruitful lecture, Marwa. Very happy to learn about a new technique. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Active learning online with 13 students.
Such as in pairs or groups. Mr. Ahmed Goma is asking.
Yeah, Yes. So yeah, Mr. Ahmed, hi. How are you? So here you can, for example, start discussions with your students, and you can. There are a lot of games that you can involve. So for example, you can use. What was the technique? Yes, the sinking ship. It's a ship that is sinking, and there is only one boat, and you can only choose six people to come on the boat. So you need to listen to each one on this ship, and you try to choose only six of them. This is a very good technique. What else? You can also use role play, so they can just try to video something and just send it to you. This will be really useful as well. And there are a lot of techniques that you can use. Cooperative learning as well, communication. Really interesting. Thank you.
Mr. Aid is asking, what if we have limited time inside the classroom?
It will be difficult. Yeah, no.
But now
it will
I think
not,
we have
inshallah,
a space of time that we can do it with the students at home.
Yes. Yes, so it's your chance now. And inside the classroom, you can just choose only one or two groups to provide voiceover, and during the coming class, you can just continue. You don't have to do all the groups during only one session. You can just divide the groups. Mhm. Thanks a million. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dears. Do you have any questions? Okay, great. Thank you, Marwa. Thank you.
Thank you, Anin. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, we are just reminding you that we are going to wait for your action with your students. Start to motivate them, give them a movie segment, and encourage them to do it with their siblings or their parents or whoever. And we're going to wait for your action and interaction on our page. Send it via email or send it on the messenger on our official Facebook. Okay. And we're going to wait and publish it on our Facebook page. Waiting for your actions, waiting for you for the next session, inshallah. See you soon. Don't forget to like, share, and follow our page to guarantee that you are going to attend every session we are going to share with you. And this session is recorded. You will find it on our page as well if you missed something. Thank you so much, Marwa. Thank you for our attendees for today. We are so happy to join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.